Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Stanley Rants, and we're going to talk a little bit about Camel Toe, whatever name you want to call her. So this vice president that's already in office, she proposed yesterday how she is going to give new home buyers $25,000 to buy a house, and for every newborn child that you have, she's going to give you $6,000. Okay. I don't know if they forgot about Bidenomics and what these people created for the last 3.5 years. The inflation, the home prices, energy prices, food prices, and this was all their Bidenomics stuff. So she is proposing to build 3 million new homes, low-cost housing homes, and she's going to expedite this by getting, permits passed faster and whatever she says she's going to do. How in the hell is she going to do this? 3 million new homes. Why is she doing this now? What's the holdup? What's the problem? What's the frequency, Kenneth? What's happening? So they're in there right now, and they're not handling business. And all this hype about her, going to be president. A month ago they didn't want to have anything to do with her. A month ago they didn't want nothing to do with her. Oh, Sleepy Joe wasn't going anywhere. Now he's out. Now she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it's just a ridiculous display of what politics is and what the grand show is that they put on. They promise all this stuff, and once they get in office, they don't do anything. At least with Trump, he's a businessman, and he knows how to run a business. Well, that's what this country is. It's a business. So 3 million new homes just out of nowhere. Where's she going to get the money? They're just going to print the money out of thin air like they do everything else. They're just going to print the money. It's getting, the clown show is you have to tune in for the clown show, because it's like a car wreck. It's like something you can't not help but watch or see. You see a car wreck and you're on the freeway and everybody slows down to see it. Well, that's what this is. It's a car wreck, and they keep saying we're not in a recession and this soft landing, and it's amazing the stuff that they come up with. So out here in California, Taxifornia I like to call it, Navin Gruesome, he just signed 10 new bills yesterday to stop crime out here. Well, these guys, they came up with Prop 47, and that's the Softer on Crime initiative. And anything under $950, it's a misdemeanor, which is just insanity. So they have a new proposition coming out. It's Proposition 36, and they're all worried about that because it's going to undermine their Prop 47 issues that they have. It just seems like they just want this state to just fall. They give all the thieves, child molesters, murderers, they all give them leniency, and they go back out and do it again. They just hit 3 7-Elevens again last night, these smash and grab robberies. So when is it going to stop? When does the madness stop and the lying stop? That's all they do is lie to you. And you have these people in these crowds, who vote Democrat, and then they don't have any eyes to see things. They don't live in the same world that we all live in, with the higher prices, the crime, and they said crime's down. So that's an anomaly right there. Crime is down. All right. Maybe in your neighborhood, comment down below and let me know. So was looking this up the other day, and this one's about NASA. And you know, never a straight answer, NASA. They have $44 billion budget a year. And so NASA, about 3 years ago, they put this Perseverance on Mars, okay? They want you to believe they flew this thing to Mars. It's 4 million miles away. The first time they did it, first time they flew this thing to Mars, it has its little booster rockets, it lands on Mars, not a glitch, no problem in the world. 4 million miles away. This thing costs $3.2 billion to roam around Mars. You know, it's called the Perseverance. It's roaming around Mars. All right. It's traveled 14.5 miles so far that it's been up there. It's traveled around 14.5 miles, okay? So the money that's wasted on this kind of stuff is just a travesty to all of us. It's just a spit in the face is what it is. So how come they can put a little machine on Mars 4 million miles away and they can't handle the stuff that's around here in your neighborhood, in your state, you know, in your communities? They can't do that. They can put a machine on Mars. So I came up with a little list. So here we go. You know, they can put a machine on Mars, but they can't cure cancer, right? They can't cure cancer. Wow. So, but they cured COVID. 3 companies, well, ponied up, and they got right on it, man. They came up with a vaccine for COVID. 3 companies did. And if you didn't get a shot, you were anti-vaxxer, you were anti-lifer, and all this stuff. Now the real stories are coming out about the shot or shots and what they're doing to people. So they can put a machine on Mars, but they can't cure cancer, you know? So you can put a machine on Mars, but they can't stop spraying our food with pesticides. You know, pesticides, you know, are killing people. And you take one like Roundup. Roundup has been illegal for, it's been years now. They have a lawsuit out there, and Roundup is still on the shelves. It causes cancer, but that's still out there. Don't worry about it. You know, nothing to see here. These chemical companies, man, it's all about the money. They don't care. They don't care about you, you know, your livelihood, your health, anything like that. So it's all about money, and it's always going to be about money. So they can put a machine on Mars, but they can't stop the pesticides in our food. They can't stop chomos from doing what they do. You can put a vehicle 4 million miles away, but you can't stop chomos, okay? You know what I propose we do with chomos? We castrate them. You castrate them, that's the end of the story. And anybody who thinks about going out and doing that again, they're gonna have the consequence of getting castrated. That would solve that problem. No, that's too easy. Too easy of a solution. You can put a machine 4 million miles away, land it on Mars, but you can't stop the plastics from entering our body. These microplastics that are just showing up in everybody's bodies. I think it's 1 credit card's worth of plastic in your body every year. A credit card. And you probably got a wallet full of them. And just take one out and look at that, and that's what's in your body. They can put a machine 4 million miles away. They can't stop that though. High-speed chases. They can't stop high-speed chases. They got all this technology. Your phone, you know, you can get porn on your phone, but they can't stop these cars from doing high-speed chases and killing people, killing innocent people. because these nitwits want to steal a car, go rob a store, and get in a high-speed chase and end up killing somebody. And then what do they do with them? You know, they don't do anything. They don't do anything with them. You know, it's funny. There's a real quick one for you. There's a cafeteria worker in Illinois. She was in charge of ordering food for her school district and whatnot, and she did this for kids, and the kids only had like one meal a day. That was their one meal. Sometimes, you know, that's what all the meals they had if they went to school. And so, and when they were out of school, they still got these meals. Well, this lady, she stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings, 11,000 cases of them, and they gave her 9 years in prison for stealing chicken wings. 9 years in prison. But they can't seem to figure out how to stop all these other guys from doing what they're doing. You know, I don't think there should be prison sentences. I think there should be stonings. And when you steal stuff and you sexually assault people, you do that to the kids, and then we have a stoning party. So we have one of these big stadiums that they have, you know, that all these sporting events are, and we have a stoning party. No, that's too simple. Too simple. They can put a machine on Mars, but they can't secure the border. The fentanyl, the crystal methamphetamine that comes over here, it's rampant. It's just ridiculous. It killed 110,000 people last year, and they can't stop that from coming into the border. There's 15 million people, they say, that came over the border. They give them food vouchers, they give them housing vouchers, they give them Social Security money and driver's licenses, and they're all driving. Do they need insurance? Do they pay insurance for their cars? You know, I don't know. So put a machine 4 million miles away, but you can't secure the border. It's amazing. This next one really gets to me because I used to be homeless, and being homeless is no fun. They can't cure homelessness. There's $280 billion they went through in Los Angeles to curb the homeless crisis. And they curbed it all right. They curbed that money right in their pockets is what they did. And now they're asking for 80 million more or something like that. Yeah, it's these politicians, they get in, they make these promises, and they don't do anything about it. They just line their pockets year after year and just laugh at all of us little people. Well, you can put a machine on Mars, but you can't stop inflation, right? So Camel Toe, she wants to put a limit on what major corporations can charge you for food and stuff. Well, this is a free capital society. This ain't communism. This ain't China. You know, now she wants to do that kind of stuff, and people are falling for it, man. People are loving it, what's coming out of her mouth, and it's just ridiculous. So you can put a machine on Mars, but you can't stop inflation. That's ridiculous. It really is. Let's see what we have next here on the list here. You can't stop normalizing this transgender movement that's out there, this woke movement. It's something that really hits home to me. I got a grandson, and I don't want him seeing none of this stuff. But they put it out on TV. It's in your Olympics. It's at your sporting events, your halftime shows. It's in kids shows. It's in movies. It's everywhere, man. They just keep shoving it down everybody's throats, and put a machine on Mars, and we can't stop that, huh? It's ridiculous. People who are cruel to animals. So I propose the animal cruelty stuff, you know, that we do to the people what they did to the animals. That's what I propose. So if they starved the animal, if they didn't give it no water, let its nails grow huge and not keep up with its health. That's what we should do to the people who did that to these animals. And they would stop. And they would just stop it. But no, there's, you know, it's not in this society. Not in this society. They're not going to do anything to these people. They give them a slap on the wrist, and they let them back out, and then they get more animals, and they do the same thing. So it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and never having different results. And that's what the society we live in. So one last one. You could put a machine on Mars 4 million miles away. The first time they tried, and they just landed there, picture perfect, no worries, no big deal. But they can't stop potholes from being on the roads. They were supposed to have this infrastructure bill that they put in, you know, for the infrastructure. It's billions of dollars. I don't have any charts on that or whatever, but these roads are like a third world country roads. Where I'm at, out here in Taxifornia, I'm guessing probably where you're at too. So you could put a machine on Mars 4 million miles away, but you can't stop potholes or fix the potholes. It's a crazy world we live in. You know what? Get ready for it to get crazier, because in this next coming months, you know, the clown show is going to continue, and you're going to have your head on a swivel. You really are. You know what? It's a good talk today, and if you want to get a hold of me, you can either comment down below, or you can reach me at stanleyrants@outlook.com, and I look forward from hearing from you. And if you knew better, you do better. I'm out.